while they meet at the house, the therapist, he kind of says some flippant comment about the perfect family, whatever. I forget the line, but it ends with like, all that crap. And once he says all that crap, stepfather, gives him this look, and he's like, he's about to snap. That was like, wrong thing to say. So, the therapist, he's asking more questions, trying to, get into his head, I guess. And Jerry knows he's on to him, and he's like, he eventually catches him in a lie where, let me see, the therapist says like, oh, my wife gets on me about that all the time, and he's like, wait, I thought you said you were a bachelor, because he did. And then he tries to play that lie off, but then, like, he's already about to kill him, so he kills him. He starts beating the fuck out of him with this, piece of wood, and kills him that way. And he's like, who are you? How'd you get on to me? And it's like, throughout the movie, he just like gets worse and worse until he catches the daughter on a date with her love interest, some kid from her high school. They get home, they kiss in front of the door, and then he busts out talking about, you get your hands off her, she's only 16. Well, so am I. And the mom comes, it's like this real big scene, and they're all arguing. Mom slaps the girl when she like says something disrespectful to her stepfather. She runs off, and then her and the stepfather start arguing, talking about like, why'd you make a big scene, and all the progress we made, just got ruined by you. And then like, that was the point where he snaps, like he gets that creepy look again, and like, that's the point where he decides, okay, I gotta kill this family and move on. This isn't working out. So he quits his job as a realtor, starts, setting up his new life, runs into a new lady who he's gonna like charm, or I guess is gonna be his next wife. And he changes his appearance again, like he puts glasses on and like takes the top part of his head off, or maybe a toupee or whatever, so he's kind of balding and looks like more of a nerd. And he gets a new job, I forget what, but yeah, he does the same thing he did in the beginning. And now he knows he's gonna kill his family, he just doesn't know, he's waiting for that point where shit hits the fan. So while he's out setting up his new life, he quit his job, so his wife is at home, calls his job, finds out that he stopped working there, and he's been going out, faking like he's been going to work every day. So when he gets back one day, she's like, where have you been? And he's like, he lies, he's like, oh, I was out showing a house to this family, whatever. And she said, but they said you stopped working there a few days ago. And he tries to lie, play it, I'll say like, what? That receptionist, that's I should get her fired or something like that. And he's like, I'm gonna call up the office and get this straightened out, blah blah blah. He's like, no, forget it, it's all right. She probably just got the name wrong. And then he's like, Hodgkins, what's to get wrong? And now it's the wrong name, because she knows him as Jerry Blake. And he's like, Hodgkins. He's like, what'd you say? And he's like, what? Puts the phone down. Wait a minute. Who am I here? And it's that famous line. And then she's like, Jerry. And he's like, Jerry Blake. Puts the phone down, or doesn't put it down. He hadn't hang it up, but he's like, Jerry Blake. Looks over, thank you, honey. Fucking whacks her in the face with the phone, and that's when all hell breaks loose. And he's kind of like acting all crazy and loopy, and the daughter's out. She gets home, and she doesn't notice anything wrong when she gets in, but she goes upstairs to take a shower. And I forgot to mention this other guy who's like the brother of the previous family, the brother of the wife in the previous family he killed. He's been looking for him because the cops, they aren't really doing much to help. And he makes it there while the stepfather's going upstairs to kill the daughter in the shower. But he gets to the door, knocks on it, he's got a gun with him. He knows he's probably about to, you know, he thinks he's gonna save the day, but he gets in there, opens the door himself. Stepfather's hiding somewhere, and then he closes the door behind him. And he turns around. It's like, you know, he probably didn't recognize him because, you know, he got confused because his new appearance. But he remembers him. He's like, ah, Jim Ogilvy. He's like, he's just all confused, and he's like, there's blood on his head. So that moment of confusion, everything's happening so fast, you know, before he realizes and, you know, grabs for his gun, the stepfather stabs him, kills him. So, you know, he didn't get to save the day. And then he makes it up to his daughter and then tries to kill her, and then the mom's, you know, limping around somewhere. And they both eventually end up killing the stepfather, and the movie ends, you know, on a happy note. And what I really like about this movie is Terry O'Quinn's performance. He really steals the show. He's like, he plays it perfectly between like a nice guy who's kind of like just trying, you know, he's not what am I trying to say? He's a nice guy who just wants the best for his family, but he's got this warped view of what a perfect family should be, and it's unrealistic. So if it weren't for that murderous streak inside of him, you know, you'd probably be an alright guy. And you kind of feel like sympathy for him at times, because, you know, he's really trying to create this dream that he's had all his life, and it's just not working out for him. And if it weren't for that murderous streak, you know, maybe things would work out better. I don't know. Like, I guess, you know, his expectations are too unrealistic or whatever. But yeah, it's a really good character. More layered than your average serial killer portrayal in a thriller or a horror movie, at least, you know, from what I've seen. So Terry O'Quinn, you know, he makes this movie. I don't think it would have been half as good without him. And he's probably the strongest actor in the movie, in my opinion. The rest are just kind of okay. Special features, it's got audio commentary with director Joe Ruben, where he sort of talks mostly about the character and his motivations and stuff like that. Talks mostly about the story, and I like commentaries like that where they talk about the story and characters as opposed to effects and technical stuff. So it's a good commentary if you're into that sort of thing. Then there's the Stepfather Chronicles. It's a all-new retrospective with interviews with Joe Ruben, producers, and Jill Schoelen, who plays the daughter, but I guess they couldn't get Terry O'Quinn for an interview because, you know, he's busy with the show Lost. But it's an alright retrospective. I mean, it's not that long. It could have went more in depth, but, you know, it's better than nothing after all this time, you know, waiting for something on DVD. But yeah, if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. You should check it out. I haven't seen the remake yet, but I hear it's not that good. If I were to rate this movie, I'd probably give it...
Wait a minute. Who am I here?
Jerry.